Alright, so usually we take the rotor screw out after we take out the brake caliper, but I've been watching some videos on this and they actually removed the rotor screw earlier. That's because the rotor is held in place right now, so might as well. This tool right here is a tool that as you hit the back of it, it turns the screw or turns it or loosens it. And that's useful if this is like locked in place.
So if you come a bit closer, I can show you how it works. So basically, it's spring-loaded. And if you look here, it says tighten and loosen. Basically, what you're gonna wanna do is you wanna push this end left or the tinier end right. So you're gonna turn it, and then you're gonna insert it onto the screw, and then you're gonna hammer the end of it. And then it's gonna turn this only a tiny bit, you know, because torque trades off with speed. Then you're gonna have to repeat the whole process again. You're gonna have to turn it right, and then you're gonna have to insert it, and then hammer it.
So let me see if this is able to be loosened right now. Okay, no. This is especially useful if the screw is stripped. But we're just going to line it up. Oh. Oh, hold on. So I said this tool was useful for not stripping your screws. It ended up stripped anyway. So in order to take this out, we're going to carve out a flathead in it, and we're going to use a hammer and a chisel to turn it. So let's see. Doesn't really matter what angle I do this at. Okay, so we finally got it out. You can see that there was quite a lot of work done to do that. We dremelled it to make a Phillips head. Or rather, we made two flatheads that we tried to knock it out. Ended up didn't working. So last thing we did was just try to break the screw. So now we should be able to just take this out. Okay, let's try the flat. Whew. Wow, we were really close to breaking that screw. Okay, that's some good work. Anyway, now that we have this screw, we can get rid of it. The reason that we can do this is because we're not going to reuse this rotor anyway, so we can let it get damaged and cut around.
Now, if you've ever worked on a Honda, Hyundai, or Kia, then you might notice that on the rotor here, there are these two screws. And if you ever try to unloosen them, then you notice that it's very hard to. See, it's just gonna spin too. And if you use a drill, it might strip it, so I'm not gonna demonstrate that. However, we can use this tool. This is a manual impact wrench, made by Craftsman or Snap-on and some other companies. So if you come a bit closer, I can show you how it works. So basically, it's spring-loaded. And if you look here, it says tighten and loosen. Basically, what you're gonna wanna do is you wanna push this end left or the tinier end right. So you're gonna turn it, then you're gonna insert it onto the screw, and then you're gonna hammer the end of it. And then it's gonna turn this only a tiny bit, you know, because torque trades off with speed. Then you're gonna have to repeat the whole process again. You're gonna have to turn it right, and then you're gonna have to insert it, and then hammer it. So now that we know how this whole process works, let's get to after we've loosened it. So it always helps to spray PB Blaster beforehand and wait a few seconds and then do it. But after it's loosened completely, you can just loosen it with a manual screwdriver and it's all good. See? The question is, what if the screw is completely stripped? Now, what we can do here is we can take a drill bit. You want to have it a bit smaller so it doesn't break the whole thing. So a bit thinner. And then you want to drill it. Well, we're not going to actually do it because it's not stripped, but just to give you an idea. So you want to drill it, and then you want to take a reverse drill bit it looks like this and not like this. This is clockwise, this is counterclockwise, see? And then you're gonna wanna insert it, and then it should lock in. Then you're gonna wanna attach it or use a wrench and pull it out. And that's how you get the strip nail out, or a screw out. And to make it a bit easier, you wanna use this, oil. I forgot the name of it. Just so you know, when you're drilling into metal, oil always helps. And when you drill into it, you can always get a new screw.
Alright, so the hardest part of taking out the rotor, and apparently a lot of people on online forums agree, alright, that airplane, but a lot of people on online forums agree that taking out these two rotor screws, which look like this, is probably the hardest part of this entire thing. So, as you can see, we tried using a Dremel, that didn't work. We tried drilling it out, we got this part, but not this one yet. And we even used like WD-40 and PV Blaster for days, and it still didn't come out. So that's going to be the trickiest part. But assuming that we already got these two screws out, what we're going to do is, normally, you try to knock it out using vibrations, and you can see that's not going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a bolt type wheel pulley set, and you might have, well, wheel puller set, and you might have seen us use this on the steering wheel video. But essentially what you do is you fix these two screws onto these two holes, and then you use a sort of like a vise to pull them out, and you'll see what we're doing. As you can see, we have the two screws on the rotor, and what we're just going to do is we're just going to tighten them. And as it tightens, you can see that it's actually slowly going to rotate. And we should have done this before we took everything off, because if we do, we're going to do each of them a little at a time so that it's not uneven. But we should have done this before we took everything off, because this is not going to spin if we do that before. Alright, so at this point, if you see it start to come out, try to pull it with your hands, and if it doesn't come out, then try to hit it out with vibrations. And if it doesn't, then just keep loosening it. Oh, okay. I think I heard it. Alright, so after a bit of struggle, you're finally able to get it out. So there's what the rotor looks like. Alright, so after a few minutes of working on it, we tried to get these two holes clear, but they just couldn't. So thankfully, the engineers at Honda designed this to have 4 holes, so we're just going to use the other 2.
Anyway, that's a wrap up, and now we're going to focus on actually fixing the brake. So I'd advise you to check out that video next. Alright, I'm Aiman, and thanks for watching. Please like, rate, comment, subscribe, and look at other videos on EyeOnAiman. Especially the mechanic and auto repair videos, and the next one that comes after this, the brake repair video. Mechanic Aiman out. Peace.